Welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to see you guys once again. I just wanted to come back with a new weird idea. So the other day I realized that I have about like 3 different skeins of the Bernat Extra blanket yarn, which is the super thick and chunky yarn that I have. And I got it on sale a few months ago, and I was thinking, oh yeah, there's so many cool different projects that I could do with it, but I also don't know which one to commit to. And so I kept going through all of these ideas like cardigan, but 3 skeins does not seem like it's enough for something that large. And so I was like, you know, I really want a showstopper piece. I've been trying to find a certain one for my craft shows. And so I've been looking through my patterns, and I've actually been finishing up some of my unfinished projects. So as I was working on some of them, I was like, oh my gosh, I have an idea for my yarn. And one of those ideas for that chunky yarn is going to make these guys, but with the big yarn to make them like big. And I think that it would be really cute because they have the little party hats on them, and I have 2 different colors of that yarn. So I mean, as you can see, I have the black one, and with this black one I did black for the body base, and then I did orange and black and orange for the hat itself. So I think it would work with just 2 colors. It is like a, let's see, okay, so the color I have that I'm gonna do for the body base is this like maroon or purple or something, and then I have like a lavender color. So I think they would pair really well together, but I really want to see if I can make a giant one of it. I only have a 10mm hook, that's the largest I have, but I think I can make it work if I just do really loose tension. And so I'm going to just bring you guys along with me with the process of creating this. My cat's going on the chair, so it's like, okay, so anyway, let's get into it and see how it works out. I want to experiment with this because I've never done something that big, and I want to see if this hook will work for that. It says that it recommends 15mm hook for this yarn, but you can size down if you want to, but I'm just gonna do it a little bit looser for tension. Okay, just wanted to come back and say that in that last clip you saw the eyes that I was using. I actually hand painted those and finished them just about a week ago. And then as I'm making this, I'm noticing that the head, it kind of looks like it's going to become like this giant snake. I still have about like 40 rows to do of just like straight rows, and so you can see me doing that. Unfortunately, as I was doing this, as it started getting longer, it kept going further and further behind me onto the wood, and it kept twisting, and unfortunately with those eyes, it kind of like started scratching them a little bit, so that was kind of a dumb mistake on my part. I actually slowed it down in this clip so that you guys could see it as it turns. It actually starts turning the head as well on the back there behind me. And so yeah, that was just a really big mistake that I did. But they look pretty good. You can barely see the scratches, honestly. As you can see in this clip, I'm just kind of showing the length, but I didn't realize at this point that they were scratched. The next part I'm doing is the hat, the little party hat on top, and so I'm using that lavender Bernat Blanket Extra yarn, and then after that I'm going to do like the base of it as that maroon that I've been working with for the snake. And then lastly I'll do the lavender again, and I think I'll do the strap as that lavender, and then I'll just like fit it on the snake and then sew it down so that it won't be going anywhere, and then we'll be done. As you can probably tell from this clip, I'm kind of having trouble figuring out how I want to put the hat on there, because I want to make sure that the area where I first began and where I slip stitched at the end is more towards the back, I guess, and I don't want it to be the forefront of the snake. Luckily, it's just kind of on the side, so it doesn't really matter. I think I was just overthinking it a little bit too much. But now I'm going to sew down that hat because I don't want it to be something that can just easily slip off. I want it to actually stay on there. Even though it does have a strap, it could come off if I wanted it to, and maybe I'll do that with other snakes, but not for this one. I just feel like it was a little loose, and so it makes me feel better when something is sewn onto it. Okay, so got the snake all finished, and I'm really happy to say that it turned out really well. It's not as big as I thought it would be. I think it's because I was using a 10mm hook, and so sometimes I was kind of crocheting with the tension that I needed for a 10mm because I'm very used to a certain kind of tension with a certain kind of hook, you know? And so not having that 15mm one, I think kind of hindered the giganticness of it. So it didn't turn out quite as big as I wanted, but it's still a lot bigger than the small little guys. Where did they go? I have to find my other ones. It's literally right next to me. I don't know what I was doing. Here. Okay, so remember these little guys with the cute little pom-poms on top? Well, you saw my process of the big one, and he is definitely a lot bigger. Let me get the green one. Okay, so this one, I guess you can have them side by side. These little guys, they are made with the Posh yarn, and that one's supposed to be a weight 5 one. The Bernat Extra is a lot bigger, and so here it is. And I'm just going to show it by itself, and then I'm going to show it compared to the other ones. And you can see the eyes that I use. These are some that I actually made, and they are like purple sparkles in there. I don't know if you can really see it. When I get close, it kind of does this weird blurry thing, so I'm not sure. But I really like the hat. The hat was starting to turn out a little bit bigger than I thought it would. But I'm pleasantly surprised. I wasn't sure. I was just kind of trusting the process, honestly. And I think it was because I had a little bit more loose of tension, because I was like, oh, I understand how tight I'm supposed to crochet at the very end of the snake, of course. So as you can see, I did like a little spiral, and I just went in and out over here and connected it. I kind of was debating about possibly putting his head more like on the body. And then I was also debating about putting the snake tail up, because I kind of want to attach something like a maraca or a chicken drumstick to his tail. But I left a little space in there, and I usually don't. But I left that low space so that I can put one in there and he can just kind of hold it. Of course, I'm moving now, so I'm gonna just position my camera a little bit differently. But that is kind of my overall take on it. Is I think this is a really good idea, is doing the bigger yarn. But the problem is it is a lot more expensive. Sometimes if you don't get it on sale, it's like $20 a skein, depending on the one that you do. But as you can see, I'm gonna put a maraca in there if I can find a pattern. Yeah, as you can see, compared to this little guy, or this one, he's a lot bigger. So I'm really glad that worked out as well as it did. He's very fluffy and soft. I didn't want to overstuff him as I was doing it, and so I do think that I did a good job with that. There were quite a few times when I was sewing in and out of him, trying to like connect it. The needle that I was sewing it with, it would catch on some of that stuffing in there and then like bunch it up and then like keep it in there, and so it wouldn't come out very easily. And every time that it started having that much resistance, I was like, oh no, it's gonna snap my yarn. Luckily it didn't. And but at the very end of the snake, I was trying to close up the hole and it actually snapped when I tried closing it up. There's only like 4 single crochets at the very end. So it snapped, and then I had to undo like the last row, and I just kind of like tied a knot and then kept crocheting so that the knot is kind of hidden on the inside. Okay, so I realized I never actually showed you guys the ending product because I was not really sure if I wanted to do the maracas or the drumsticks. So I actually went with a maraca, and I just wanted to show you how cute this actually turned out to be. So it has a little maraca right here. You can kind of see it. I just kind of sewed it on the inside, and there's still like a little bit of space, so you could do 2 of them if you wanted to. I just wanted to show it to you because I totally forgot to film that part, and I didn't want to put like a picture in there. Just wanted you guys to see it. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you guys again in the next video. Thanks. Bye.